Hello and welcome to my messy desk. So I don't want this channel to turn into like a tool review channel, but I have got a couple of things I wanted to talk to you today about: a new multi-tool and a new super slick little thing that I'm going to show you. And it kind of goes off the back of a while back I did review this Nextool multi-tool, and in that video I was saying that I tend to carry multi-tools a lot, and I tend to carry multiple multi-tools to give me a really broad range of stuff that I can do, particularly for like rocketry events, put my teeth in, or for, indoor flying events or maker kind of events and stuff like that. Some years ago, I did a blog post. Also, this relates. Do bear with. Dear oh dear. Anyway, I did a blog post ages ago about sort of my 4mm screwdriver kind of setups, and also my 1/4" driver setups. But one of the things that I've used loads over the years is this Xiaomi Wiha 24-bit. Is it 24-bit? Probably more than that. No, 24-bit screwdriver set, and I love it, but it's getting pretty kind of battered because it's been chucked around at events and used and stuff. But I'm also on the lookout for things that allow me to have like 2 or 3 bits inserted into different screwdrivers at different times. And I've had a few kind of cheap 4mm drivers. The really nice 4mm driver that I've got, and this is the iFixit set, which is just lovely. This is just a pleasure to use, and I don't tend to take that around to events because I'm always a bit nervous that bits are going to go missing and stuff like that. So I certainly wouldn't take it into a in the field rocketry event. But yeah, this kind of lives on my desk and is a lovely, lovely, lovely kit. But the same thing goes. Sometimes it's nice to have options to stick your 4mm bits into other things. Oh yeah, and I still use this occasionally. This was a cheap Torque screwdriver, which actually has a 1/4" driver, but then I've got a little 4mm adapter, which is very nice. Okay, so these two things are what I want to talk about, and primarily this one, but this one I'll talk about in a little bit. So this is a very cheap multi-tool by the company Roxon, and I've heard loads of people talking about these online. They're getting quite popular in EDC circles. They're really cheap for what they are. This was 20 quid, and it is the M3 version multi-tool. So you get a pretty kind of it's okay, this case. It's not wild, it's not great, it's just it just does the job. And you get a case, and you kind of need some sort of case if you want to carry it with all the tools involved. So let's have a little look at the tool. It's pretty nice. I mean, you know, I've got an old Leatherman PS2. I've got I've got a couple of Gerber. I've got Gerber dimes, or I've got I've got some nice-ish multi-tools, but this isn't at all bad. I don't know what the steel is, but yeah, it's pretty kind of nice, neat, compact. It's not quite keychainable. It has got a lanyard hole somewhere. Yeah, it's got a lanyard hole here. It's probably a little bit too big for keychain. So it is probably another kind of case tool, but that doesn't worry me too much. Anyway, let's have a look what we get. So the main thing is actually it's not a plier tool. The main tool is a set of scissors, and they are lovely. It's hard to kind of show you or give you the sensation of feel through the camera, but they are very, very nice. They certainly, you know that test people do where they put like paracord in and they try and snip it at the tips. Passes all of those. Really, really nice shearing action. Yeah, how long they keep an edge, I don't particularly know, but they're a very nice set of scissors. So that's that. Okay, so on top of the scissors, and again, bear with me because I'm obviously doing this through a camera, and I've also cut my thumb, so that's a bit tricky. Not on the multi-tool, on a kitchen-related incident. So on this side, you've got various tools, and actually all the tools on this side have a little liner lock. It's not the strongest liner lock in the world, and there's a little bit of play in it, but it does kind of lock. And then to unlock them, you need to pull these little serrated bits back, and that unlocks the tool. So yeah, you've got a neat little knife blade. You've got I struggle to get this one out because of my slightly injured thumb. You've got a neat little knife. You've got can't get it out. Dear oh dear. Well, let's skip to this end. You've got a can opener, tin opener, and a box cutter. And actually, that is an excellent little box cutter for cutting the tape that boxes have on them. There we go. So we've got a little awl with a sharp edge, and you could use that as a kind of, a very sort of crude kind of needle, maybe to do like a leather repair or repair a sail. But what we've also got is a quite nice little Phillips screwdriver. So that's quite a handy little screwdriver. It's not bad. It's locked in position-ish, as I say, not the best lockup I've ever seen. But in addition to that, you've got, in the case, you've got a little adapter for this. And you can turn this into a little adapter to take 4mm bits. And they are kind of mag-locked in there. Because you've got a lot of interfaces, you get a bit of wobble at the end, but actually it's pretty darn good. So yeah, you get a little collection of bits with it, but of course, it means that it's an extra driver out in the field for my other kits. So if I, hard to do that on camera, you know, if I've got one bit in here, like, so for example, if I'm working with drones, you quite often want an M3 and an M2 Allen key in tools, because you'll use a lot of those at the same time. So it's just a little in the field bit holder, really. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that as a tool. Just to finish off about the Roxon, it's got another little set of tools which I think are quite unusual. So, well, they're not unusual, but they're unusual how they're kind of done. So in the other side, we've got a set of tweezers. Again, I'm not going to be laying up like surface mount components with these, but for getting a splinter out, which is probably the most use I would use sort of multi-tool tweezers for. Yeah, pretty fine. A toothpick, which I always say, I never use the toothpick until I find myself doing it. Yeah, so you've got a little toothpick. And then finally, you've got this unusual little arrangement here. You've got a little slider here, and you push it up. And we've got here, it's hard to see, but this is a hexagonal bit of stock, and it's got a flat head and a tiny little Phillips driver. So the sort of glasses, kind of jewellery size. And then you've got a separate hole, which is actually hexagonal. So this locks in. So you've got a nice positive kind of turning tool there. And then to put it away, you slip it back into the original hole and you slide the slider down and push that back in. And it is retained pretty well. These are about 20 quid. Some people have complained that this side is a bit too open and these little tools are a bit loose. I haven't had that at all, but the way that people have cured that, if they have had one that's like that, is they've put this in a little vise and just kind of push these together slightly. The thing I found with mine was it needed these little bits tightening about an eighth of a turn just to get a bit more kind of stability in it. Oh, and the other thing it's got a little diamond file here, which I'm not sure I'd be like, you know, sort of polishing down any, you know, sort of taking masses of metal stock off something. But for a little bit of kind of fine work, sorting out a nail, perfect. But also for a little bit of fine work on something in the field, that's quite a nice little option. So yeah, that is the Roxon M3 with its various bits and bobs. So the other tool that I wanted to show you today is another 4mm bit driver, but this is very nice and I'm very pleased to have found these. So this is a what are they called? This is a Hoto. I can't see the box at the moment. This is a this is a Hoto screwdriver, and it's really nice. I really like it. So you might be thinking, well, where are the bits? Well, this end cap floats and it turns, and it's a really nice, feels like a bearing. And it's very nice to use. Similar, if not slightly better than the Wiha, Xiaomi Wiha one. But it's held in by a magnet. If I pull it out, ooh, look, we've got a nice collection of double-ended bits. So you can pull one out, pop it in the end, and then pop this back in. And hey presto, you're up and rolling with your bit driver. It's really nice. It's hard to sort of convey the quality of this over the screen, but this was about this was $18.99, but I did kind of have a bit of a discount code for that. So you see them at around £20 to £25, but you might find them a bit less. Hoto, I believe, are the originators of this design, but there are now starting to appear lots of clones of these, a little bit like we saw with the Xiaomi Wiha kit. So yeah, so the clones might be perfectly good, but I can't speak to that because I haven't actually got them. So obviously you've got the dual-ended bits, which is nice, and also these are mag-locked into there. So there's actually a little magnet keeping those in there, so they don't kind of fall out. It will also be compatible with any 4mm bit. And of course, if you've got favourite bits or bits that you need to use from other collections, you can pull these out and these will maglock into there fine as well. Yeah, it comes in a range of colours, and yeah, the fit and finish of this is just lovely. It's really, really positive in the hand, however you kind of use it. This is kind of dished out. I tend to end up a lot of the times using things like this. That's certainly how I've used the iFixit one sometimes. That's quite a nice position to kind of use a tool in. So yeah, this is kind of dished. It's got enough magnetism that it's not going to fall apart, but it feels really positive to open. Yeah, I really rate it. I really like it a lot, and I'm pleased that I found them. So yeah, there we go. Two tools, both kind of around the 20 quid price point. Expand out my sort of availability of being able to use 4mm bits in the field and on projects, and you know, this one a heap of other versatility as well as 4mm bit driving, and yeah, pretty cheap but pretty good. I mean, it used to be that you took a lot of compromises with cheap tools, but yeah, not too many compromises on that, and this is a joyous little thing. So yeah, there we go. I'll stop waffling now. Thank you very much for watching. Ta-ta.